Okay, so this is chapter 7, building an animated robot. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript works with the other two, which is like HTML works with CSS and JavaScript, or JavaScript works with HTML and CSS. Make things happen in the web browser. Changing CSS with JavaScript. Just as you can use JavaScript to change HTML web page, you can also use it to change CSS styles. First step is to select the element you want to apply change style on. Once you select as an element, you can change style by attaching the style property to the selector followed by the style you want to change. To change the color of the left eye, you can use this JavaScript document. It's gonna go to the HTML, get element by ID, the element with the ID left eye, dot style to change the CSS, dot background. It's going to change the background to purple. When changing styles of JavaScript, there are two rules. When the CSS property is just one word, such as margin or border, you can use the same CSS name to change the style in JavaScript. If the CSS property has dashes, the CSS property name gets converted to camel case. So background color in HTML or CSS in JavaScript, you're gonna have to make it background color with C uppercase. Handling events. Event lister are a way to tell JavaScript to watch out for an event or something to happen to it, and then to do something or handle it if the event happens. In JavaScript, you use a method called add event listener to tell programs what to do when the event happens. To listen for and handle events, you need three parts. The event, whenever something happens in a web browser, it's called an event. Example of events includes clicking on the mouse, pressing key, dragging, dropping, hovering the mouse over something, selecting text. The event target. Next step in creating an event handler is to attach the event listener method to an object. It would probably be an HTML element or something like that. The listener, the third part of add event listener statement is the actual listener. This is the object that should be notified when the event happens. This is normally a method that gets executed when the event happens. The format of a typical event handler is as follows. The target, that would be the HTML element, add event listener, event would be button click, or click button or whatever, and then the listener, which would be the method listening out for this event. Modifying CSS with JavaScript. Modifying CSS using JavaScript makes it possible for the look and position of HTML elements to change in response to user input. I use the document get element by ID element.style. There are a couple of things to alter the element's appearance. Border radius, border, background color, border top. Keep in mind that JS is very case sensitive. It's very sensitive. If you have a typo, if you have a period or spell get element by ID wrong somewhere in the JS pane, all the lines of JavaScript will fail to run, not just the statement where you make the mistake. Writing a listener. Listener is a function or a smaller program within a larger JavaScript program. Whenever an event happens that the listener is attached to, the listener function runs. So if we got variable right eye equals document get element by ID right eye, that's the target, get add event listener, the event is clicked, and then the listener would be move up down. It would be the method move up down or function move up down. Code starts as a function, give it its name, note the E between the parentheses. When the function is called by the event listener function, the E will contain some of the information about the event that just happened. which you can just read to, you can use inside of the function. Okay, that's chapter 7, guys.